up, y'all? With all these pre-workouts coming out in 2024, man, we go back to a legendary one with some history, man. This had a different version once upon a time. I seen a review from a couple of years ago, man, but hey, it's 2024. We're halfway through the year. Does Dust X by Blackstone Labs have a place for us STEM junkies? Y'all stay tuned. Yo, it's Drug-Free Dansby, and today I have Dust X pre-workout by Blackstone Labs. What's this thing about, man? Before we get going, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, head over to Instagram and TikTok, man. Let's interact over there, man. Let's get to know each other, man. I love each and every one of you, man. Thank you guys for tuning in and being a part of this journey with me, man. And speaking of the journey, man, God was dealing with my heart today with the subject of pain, man. How many of you guys love pain or hate pain, man? I'm gonna tell you guys my relationship with that my whole life. So I remember being a kid, man, and growing up in a normal household with two brothers and two loving parents, man. And I don't want to say I was spoiled, but we didn't really want for nothing, man. We didn't live in a humongous house. We didn't have a mansion. We weren't on the streets or poor or nothing like that either. So I was so used to, you know, getting most everything I wanted and have a pretty smooth go at life, man. But when I became an adult and I started doing things for myself, man, I had all these big decisions to make, and there was a lot of fear attached to it, and there was a lot of bad decisions that were made. So I gauged all these decisions based off of pain. And when it comes to learning in my life, man, I learned from the Alcoholics Anonymous big book. It says, pain is the touchstone of all spiritual growth. So as I was growing up, man, and making mistakes, dude, the only way I was learning and changing and getting better is when I would put my hand on the stove and I'd be like, all right, that hurt. But I'm a stubborn alcoholic addict, man, who's recovered now. I would put my hand on that stove 5, 6, 7 times before I was finally like, all right, I've had enough pain, man. When I was younger, my pain tolerance, man, I put myself through so much crap, dude. I could keep suffering and keep suffering and keep suffering and be like, you know what? I'm getting back up and I'm going to do this all over again. And I'll tell you, as far as my life goes now in business and in the gym and all that good stuff, the one thing I think sets me apart from other people is when I get knocked down, I always get back up. When I was a kid and I would go into fights with dudes that were bigger than me, no matter what, dude, I was never scared. I would always get there and I would always do what I needed to do. So today, 31 years old, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a restaurant, I run a restaurant for a living. My pain tolerance has gotten way down, dude. I'm a big old baby when it comes to those sort of things. In the gym, it's a little different, man. I want to push past certain things, break down muscle and all that good stuff. But I am not willing to go through the same old crap over and over again, expecting different results. I don't even mess with the stove anymore. I don't even make bad decisions that are going to cause me any sort of pain. And what I learned over the years is that all my misery was of my own making. And if I would have done to, if someone else would have done to me what I was doing to me for all those years, I'd probably want to fight him or kill him. Maybe not today, but you know, you guys get what I'm saying. All right, I love y'all. Let's talk about this pre-workout here, guys. So the owner over at Blackstone Labs, super cool dude, super awesome fella for sending this bad boy over. Reached out to a lot of companies. He's one of the first ones to get back to me, man. And he swears up and down by this thing, Dust X. So I've seen this on the interwebs, couple different platforms. I've looked into it a little bit. As you guys know, I'm a pre-workout nerd, but I only know what I've seen on the label, and I've heard a couple of people's experiences. So let's hear what Drug-Free Dansby has to say about this bad boy. So before we get into the experience, let's talk about the flavor on this. So this is a candy apple flavor. And let me tell you guys, when the first swig I took of this, I was like, all right, it was super sour. I tasted a little bit of apple, but then I tasted a lot of chemicals, which for me, sometimes I'm like, let's go. This is going to be, you know, potent. However, as I sipped on it, the flavor got a bit better. So it is a sour candy apple. It's not the best thing I've ever tasted. It's not the worst thing I ever tasted. Decent quality, but you know, we're not really here for the flavor. Mix it with a little bit of water, slam it down, no harm, no foul. Go to the gym and get some effects. All right, let's talk about some supplement facts, guys. So one scoop is supposed to be 13.5 grams. Looked online, the old labels, it was a 10-gram scooper. I will tell you, one level scoop was exactly the 13 gram mark, so they got that thing right. This I really love to see in 2024. Servings per container, you get 25. So, oop, almost dropped it. There we go. All right, let's see. Let's look inside of this bad boy together. I just took the one scoop out of it. Yeah, it's filled to the brim. Nice white, powdery, not clumpy whatsoever. Pretty solid there. All right, let's talk some supplement facts, boys and girls. All right, off the rip, you get citrulline malate, 2-to-1 ratio at 4 grams. So that's, you get the citrulline at 2 grams, and then you get malic acid. So that's a really low dose of citrulline. I don't know why they put that low of a dose in here. They probably could have went without it and added a different pump ingredient, but hey, I'm not an expert. I'm just a reviewer, guys, so whatever. Next, we got beta-alanine at 2.5 grams. Again, that's below the clinical dose. I'm not sure why we're not at 3.2 or above, but hey, that's interesting. This is an interesting start to a label, guys. Next, we got some more. So yeah, citrulline for pumps, beta-alanine for the warm, fuzzy, the tingly all over. Next, we got another pump ingredient, agmatine sulfate, 1 gram. Decent dose, also going to help with the nitric oxide and the blood flow. Next, we got L-tyrosine for some focus at 1 gram. So that's not a bad dose there. That's pretty standard. Next, we got DMAE, 750 milligrams. So that is high in dose. Off the rip, we're not talking pumps. We're not talking blood flow as much. We're talking, let's get dialed in, mind-muscle connection, ready to hit the weights. Next, we got phenylethylamine, so PEA, not the beta PEA. We got just regular PEA. I don't think I've ever seen that in a pre-workout before. It's at 500 milligrams, so that's going to help increase some dopamine and serotonin in your brain. It's going to get some mood elevation. It's going to get you in the zone, get you feeling good about pumping some iron. I love to see that, and it's a crazy high dose. Probably why it had that bitterness in the aftertaste with the flavor, for sure. All right, next we have caffeine anhydrous, 350 milligrams. So that's your typical stimulant. We need that in a pre-workout, especially if you're relying on these. Hopefully you're not. You got to put some heart, you got to put some respect in at the gym, and you gotta have some sort of get there without a pre-workout. But 350 milligrams will wake you from the dead, will get you motivated, get you moving. Next, we got perhaps the star of the show, 2-amino isoheptane and 150 milligrams. That's that DMHA. It's that lab made. It's not talking Juglans, not talking English walnut. We like to see that in a pre-workout, 1000%. Next, we got Nelumbo nicifera. So that's higamine. I just butchered the crap out of that. But that they started putting those in pre-workouts whenever DMAA was going away. It's going to get your heart rate up. It's going to give you some energy. It's going to help with athletic performance. It's going to hit you, give you that sense of urgency. So it's another stimulant. So we're talking stim junkie here. And then finally, we got another nootropic. We got Huperzine A at 300 micrograms, really high dose. It's going to help with the focus. It's going to pair with that DMAE and that L-tyrosine really well. It's going to remind you of why you are in the gym. So I love it. Let's count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So only 10 ingredients. So we don't have a laundry list of a little bit of this, a little bit of that, little Araya, 5 different focus, 5 different pumps. But I will say it is claiming on here the perfect pre-workout, the most intense stimulant formula, laser-like nootropic formula, and skin-stretching pumps. So honest and unbiased review, guys. Does Dust X, hit the spot? Is it something worth putting in your rotation? I'll be honest with you guys. The review I saw on this from a couple years ago had me scared. I didn't run this right off the rip when I first got it because I wanted to have a good experience. And I was really scared of how this was going to hit me. But let me tell you, pleasantly surprised, guys. Pleasantly surprised. There is something in this, and let's really get down to it. So 5-10 minutes in, you can go ahead and skip past the betas. You don't feel any betas whatsoever. If there was, it was a light, come and go sort of deal. I felt a little bit of caffeine, but it was nothing. I'm used to these pre-workouts that will come and just freaking hit you with some energy. This was a slow acting sort of deal. I took it 5 minutes. I get down to the gym and I start pumping iron. And as soon as I started to feel like, all right, I'm a little disappointed with what I'm feeling here, something kind of hit me out of nowhere, guys. I got a wave of focus, probably, 10, 15 minutes in, and a little bit of caffeine, and I'm like, dang it, dude, I got a dud, man. This isn't gonna do anything. I'm tired. It's Saturday night. I gotta do legs. Why did I pick this to do legs? But however, at the 30-minute mark, something illicit came in and hit me. Now, I don't want you guys to think this is a Dark Labs or Wildfire, blow your head off, PP tingles, super euphoric. But I will tell you, something illicit is in this. It's not just caffeine. There is something in here. I can't say it's real DMHA. You know, whatever is in this is definitely more than just caffeine. This isn't a physical energy pre-workout per se. I will say at the hour mark, it got me into a place where I was stemmed up enough to where I felt like it was helping me. But when the star of the show with this, I'll tell you guys, when it first kicked in, I started texting the boys and I was like, bro, this is spiked with something. It says DMHA, but this does not feel like DMHA. In a weird way, it felt like that illicit focus from Smash AMF without the fight or flight. Like, the mood elevation kicked in. I'm feeling good. I'm not going to say there's euphoria whatsoever, but there is a nice sense of mood elevation and highness that comes in and is very, very unique and almost hard for me to describe to you guys. I think you're going to have to try it for yourself. If it's worth buying a tub after this, you know, I'll link it down below on where to get it. But I will say there's something naughty in this, boys. I can't say for sure that it's DMHA. You know, if I had to give you my honest opinion, there is something in this. It honestly felt like DMHA mixed in with a little bit of L-theanine, maybe underdosed DMHA, but not too crazy. Mood elevation, DMHA vibe, but like maybe with some canna to kind of smooth it out. The star of the show is definitely this nootropic head high that comes in, and it had me like almost chilling in a sense, but not so chill like I'm like, you know, yawning and sleepy. I need to get out of the gym. I don't know what expression I just did there to imitate that, but there's a highness that comes in about 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It's not a slapper. It's not an alpha yo fight or flight. The heart rate gets up from that, the higamine that's in it. I definitely felt a little bit of heart rate. By the hour mark, this thing definitely peaked and I felt really good. There was a warm body high that went over me. Again, it wasn't like you're taking 300 milligrams of some crazy good DMHA, but it is more than just caffeine. There's an illicit focus. You're definitely dialed in 100%. Appetite suppression is on the lower end, which I kind of like, but definitely woke me from the dead enough. And I would say that this bubble-like, warm, you know, thing that came over me is definitely the star of the show. There's a thermogenic effect to all this thing as well. I started to sweat, breathe a little heavier. I was definitely a lot thirstier, so I had to drink a lot of water for sure. The pumps on here, guys, get you a pump formula. The pumps are not really even worth mentioning. Sorry to say, Blackstone Labs, but I was not impressed with the pumps in this whatsoever. 2 grams of citrulline with the malic acid, the agmatine. You know, I just feel like they could have done a little bit more with the pumps. You know, I did legs and shoulders, and I honestly, it felt like I didn't even have any pumps in there whatsoever. But however, you know, this is a Stem Junkie pre-workout. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as Stem Junkie goes, legit pre being 10 out of 10, I would definitely put this like middle of the road. It's not a daily driver. It's definitely maybe once or twice a week. You could technically use it for High Stem Saturday, but I don't want you guys to think this is gonna rock your world and you gotta tell the whole squad how amazing this pre-workout was. It scratches the itch. You feel something illicit. You feel some highness. I'm still buzzing right now. I still have this focus. And a really good way to put it is if you're expecting just caffeine like I was, something's gonna hit you and you're like, whoa, there's something else in it. Again, if maybe it's the DMHA or the 2-amino mixed with the PEA that's in it. Maybe it's the 2-amino mixed in with the huperzine. I don't know, man. But for me, the star of the show is the mood elevation on a medium level, this illicit focus. And I will say after the hour mark, it starts to taper down a little bit, but you still have enough physical energy with that mental thing going on to get you through your workout. Don't expect this to make you an animal in the gym. It's definitely on the smoother, more mellow side of highness. It's definitely more of a head high than a physical high. So, you know, and then I'll tell you how I would use this if I choose to use this again, which I think I will. It has its own character. It is unique. I was telling the boys, I think you need to try this because it hit me differently than any of the other illicits I've taken lately and pretty much ever. So it has its own character to it, which is cool. I feel like it's strong enough to be a solid pre-workout, but you could also take it afternoon. You could take it at night, man. I like to sometimes I work out at 8 o'clock at night. I can take Wildfire and the L-theanine will smooth me into a good sleep that night. I feel like this is kind of in that category, man, where, you know, I'll let you guys know. I'll probably leave a comment, you know, saying how, if it gives you a nasty crash or whatever it is, but I'm still on one right now, guys. I really thought I was gonna have to give this a bad review, but dude, honestly, pleasantly surprised. There's something in it. This definitely has a place in the supplement world. You know, don't take my word for it. Get you a tub. I'll link it down below. If you like what I had to say, hey man, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let's talk, man. I got another banger coming out for you soon. So hey, remember, get pumped, not drunk. Peace.